Situated 1 degree north of the equator, with a land area only about half the size of London, lies Singapore, a bustling city-state with no natural resources. Despite our positive ranking on the Global Food Security Index in terms of affordability, availability, as well as safety and quality, Singapore is still ranked extremely low in terms of sustainability and adaptation, which is evidenced by Singapore being highly reliant on food imports. In fact, we import over 90% of our food. Furthermore, Singapore faces several challenges such as continued population growth, climate change, high urbanization, and supply shocks due to unforeseen circumstances. As a result of these challenges, Singapore is more vulnerable to food supply disruptions, which can cause problems like panic buying when such situations arise. To strengthen Singapore's food security, the Singapore Food Agency introduced the 30 by 30 goal. It strives to meet 30% of our nutritional needs through local produce by 2030 and can act as a critical buffer during food supply disruptions. However, agriculture only makes up a small percentage of Singapore's GDP and contributes to only 3.9% of local vegetable consumption. This is partly due to our limited land area, all-year humid climate, as well as expensive labour costs, which greatly restricts the agricultural landscape of the nation. This suggests more capacity for agricultural innovations to enhance our farming capabilities. This is why Singapore aims to grow more with less through urban farming methods. Dr. Wilson Wong, the Deputy Director of Singapore's National Parks Jurong Lake Gardens Division, shares more on urban farming in Singapore.
So one of the things is that definitely it must be a high throughput system, right? In the sense that you need to be able to produce food, right? More food per unit space.
Local outdoor urban farms have developed multi-tier farming systems to be situated on unused car parks and rooftops or Lim Chu Kang Agro-Technology Park to overcome space constraints and maximize productive efficiency using natural sunlight.
As long as you have the necessary technology equipment to let you be able to reach your produce, maintain your produce, you can go as high as possible.
A company that has done this is Sky Greens, who has developed 9-meter tall AgroGrow vertical systems, which can produce 5 to 10 times more yield per unit area compared to traditional farms. Only 40 watts of electricity is required for the rotation of each vertical system, equivalent to the energy needed to power one light bulb. Urban farms utilize hydroponic nutrient film technique systems, which recycle and reuse minimal water, resulting in approximately 90% less water consumption compared to traditional farms. Furthermore, due to local producers' shorter travel distance to the market, it can be delivered fresher, quicker, and with a reduced carbon footprint compared to imported produce.
So one of the things that people may adopt, right, will be CO2 supplementation, that's carbon dioxide, right? So you enrich the growing space with carbon dioxide, so therefore your plants might grow faster, right? So that's one. Different wavelengths of light, they do different things, plants react to it differently. So like, for example, some people may expose it to shorter blue light wavelengths, right, or ultraviolet light for short periods of time, such that you can make the plant be a bit more stressed, then it can produce antioxidant compounds.
Take Sustaneer, for example. They employ an artificial intelligence system named Sarah, alongside smart sensors. These technologies can monitor and adjust crucial parameters like temperature, humidity, light, and carbon dioxide levels to optimize the growth of produce. In terms of economic viability, operational costs for urban farms tend to be lower than traditional farms due to better energy and water efficiency, as mentioned previously. With an increased use of technology for monitoring crop and environmental conditions, coupled with optimized crop-to-plot ratios, urban farms also require less manpower for maintenance, which boosts manpower efficiency and reduces labor costs. The Singapore government is also highly supportive of the local urban farming industry, subsidizing the initial high capital costs for purchasing and developing the necessary technology. One such grant is the $60 million Agri-Food Cluster Transformation Fund, which supports urban farms in building and expanding their production capacities and capabilities through technology upscaling, innovation and test bidding, and capability upgrading. One of the key challenges for urban farming in Singapore is increasing public awareness, support, and trust in local produce. Despite marketing efforts aimed at raising Singaporeans' awareness of local produce through the use of cute animated mascots television advertisements, and collaborations with social media influencers, these strategies have yet to fully bridge the gap. Perhaps there can be a wider adoption and publicity of local produce in major food establishments, as well as more endorsements by local food bloggers and chefs on social media platforms about opting for local produce. Normalizing food sourced from local soil could indeed be a pivotal step forward. Of course, to address the elephant in the room, urban farmers currently still lack the economies of scale that traditional farmers have. Local produce from urban farms is therefore more costly and has less variety compared to traditional farms. Despite the government grants, the agricultural industry in Singapore is still in need of more R&D investments to improve urban farming capacities, which would increase efficiency and viability in the long run. Along with more advertising endeavours, these combined efforts can then translate to a greater demand and acceptance of local produce, thereby establishing a stronger customer-supplier relationship. To summarise, urban farming has minimal negative impacts on the environment, thanks to its energy and water efficiency, as well as its reduced carbon footprint. Despite a higher initial capital investment, it also boasts lower operational and labour costs. Nonetheless, governmental support via grants is necessary to support the growth of urban farming technology here in its infancy, which can enhance production efficiency and improve the quality of local produce in the long term. Moreover, there is a pressing need to increase public awareness, support, trust, and demand for local produce. All in all, urban farming serves as a vehicle to promote agricultural sustainability and ensure food security in Singapore by growing more with less.